Dude, yeah, we talked for a while. We even continued it inside. Yeah, dude, last night, I was outside for a while and I was like, it was like 3 a.m. and I was for sure Allie was asleep. Not that she can't stay up late, but just, I figured she was laying in bed and probably just like fell asleep. I fucking walk in. She's wide awake in the bathroom, fucking scanning all of her like hair products to see if they're rated as good or something. I'm like, what are you doing?
I love that.
You are now listening to the Jah and Fah Show. Jah and Fah Show. Now listening. You are now listening to the Jah and Fah Show.
Great clap. Great episode. Let's do it. Episode 14, Jah, Fah, experience. How are you feeling, Fah?
Gotta tell you, Jah, I'm feeling great. This is our first morning stream back at it in a while. I don't know exactly what episode was our last one in the morning. I feel like it's been a few though now.
It's been a few. I don't think since the one before the AB episode we've had a morning episode.
It feels good. It feels I feel a lot more like in it. It feels good. I got my coffee and my llama cup, and it's great to be here, Dick. It's great getting back. We were actually just talking a little pre-pod. It's nice to get back into the routine because we'll be recording these on Thursdays now. So this is the day when we're going to be starting the Thursday morning train, just like we did on Sunday morning. Now it's just going to be Thursday.
Yeah,
Feels
Thursdays are just as good, man. I mean, I have no set schedule, and even when I do work, my schedule is very, very allowing to a nice Thursday morning pod.
Well, and you know what's so funny? I don't know if I'm the only one who thought this or if you have thought this or like other people. Well, like when I was in school, like I'm thinking like middle school, high school type of school. I remember, we'd have windows, obviously. and, and our schools were always like on like a main road, not like a busy road, but a main road in our town per se. And I would just always see people like walking down the street or in their cars during the day while I was at school. And I always just thought to myself, like, man, it's like a whole different world outside of school during the week while I'm in school, if that makes sense. Like,
It makes perfect sense.
Like, I would always be like, man, I can't wait to be that person to be able to like be out in the world during school hours. And like, here we are recording a pod. Like 11 o'clock, we'd be in second block right now in high school, But like instead we're recording a pod, drinking some coffee. Like it's, I'm growing up sucks, but there's a couple of things that are like, this is cool.
Yeah, dude, it is what you make of it. If you're gonna be miserable all the time and have a pessimistic view on everything, you're gonna have a miserable time all the time. But if you're like, oh, I wanna be that person that was walking in front of a school, making kids wonder what the hell I'm doing,
what nice. Life is out there.
They're probably walking to their shift at Wawa or whatever for their 10 to 6 p.m.
Well, I have to say I was spoiled because my first job was at JFM, John's Family Market, which has been brought up in the pod a lot. But I used to do deliveries for John's Family Market. Like I did the grocery deliveries. So I would be out and about Monday, Wednesday, Friday between the hours of like 10 to like 3. Just doing deliveries out in Haddon Heights, seeing people. It was great, man. I loved it. I have so many experiences and stories with those people. It's fun. It's fun being out. It's fun not being restricted every day to having to be in one place.
Yeah, and not only that, like not only you're not restricted to one place, you're also seeing new sites and people every day or whatever. Or you're seeing the same people and they like you and they're gonna tip you, like or whatever.
And it's fun.
Yeah,
dude. There's this one woman. Her name was Mrs. Hardock. Sweetest woman. She would insist on tipping me way too much. Like a good tip would be $5. Like that'd be like, that's solid. Or like, a couple of my regulars would give me like 7 or even 10, like just because like we were friendly and they would see me all the time. Like they knew I was going to school or whatever. This woman, Mrs. Hardock, let's say her total was like $73.82, for all her groceries. She'd give me 100 and say, keep the change every time. And I'd be like, I can't, no, because, and like, now granted, I'm not afraid of taking tips, especially if the person, like, this sounds awful, but like if the person's like mean or I don't really like them and they're giving me a $20 tip, I'm like, thank you. I will, yes, 100% take that. But this woman was so sweet that you almost didn't want to take the money, you know? And it was funny because a couple times I would bring my friend Fish, who's been on the pod, our friend Fish, who was also on the pod, there on deliveries with me. And I would tell him, I'd be like, dude, whatever you do, don't let this woman tip you. She's so friendly. The one day, I swear to God, and he, of course, he's so nice to the customers too. He's really good customer service, you know, friendly with people. But if we were in her kitchen, he literally turned his back on her so she wouldn't tip him. She ended up giving us both $30 tips. She overpaid $60 for, I don't know what her total was, but whatever her total was, overpaid $60 to tip me and Fish. And Fish would be like, I know what you mean, man. I don't feel good about this. Cause like she never, cause like there were some people who'd make you like take out their trash while you're there, like unload.
Oh, really?
Like that's not what my job was. I was not supposed to be doing these things.
No.
But a lot of times, but a lot of times these people are like 90 years old or like old and just need a
So
little
you
extra
feel
help.
bad saying no.
So,
yeah.
right. So like it was far and few between. It wasn't like people never like took it back. But like there were people I would unload their groceries for them. So like I would know like where to put all their stuff in the fridge. And that's no problem. Like whatever. But she would just like have me set the box on the table, would just make super small talk, give us a tip, and like push us out. Like perfect like customer, you know? And it's just like there was a couple times I said to her, I was like, please let me unload your groceries. Like that's the least I can do. It was just so funny. I don't even know how I went off on that.
No,
But,
I know how you feel in a way, like saying that like you feel bad taking it, but I guarantee you two things. One, she wants to spend her damn money because no offense, you only have so much life, you only have so much money, you might as well spend it while you're living. Number two, your smile and your morale seriously goes so much further than you think. And like even you just showing up with her groceries and your smile, dude, that's worth a $30 tip every single time to her. And I feel the same way when I go out. Like to know if I had someone like in the 50s, if you knew that you got a good relationship with the milkman or whatever, I'm gonna tip him extra because I know every time he comes, he gives me a smile and a good conversation.
Exactly. And you know, it was just one of those experiences I'll never forget because she was so nice. And I like what you said, you know, a smile and just positivity. Well, especially for the customers I delivered to too, because I felt bad because a lot of them were old. A lot of them really didn't leave the house. I mean, hence why they were getting their groceries, you know, delivered to them. And you know, I think like honestly, there were some customers who like saw me once a week and they were like really excited, you know, like for that little conversation. I mean, there'd be customers I would no lie sit down and talk with them for over an hour, and like it'd get to the point where I'm like, all right, I gotta go. Like I have more deliveries, you know.
You might be one of the only people they talk to during the week, like no joke.
Well, this one guy, R.I.P. Boganowski, I found out he actually just passed away this past January. One of my favorite.
Big R.I.P. in the chat,
dude. Great guy, like such a weird, like not great in a way like he was the friendliest or the best, but just the most memorable weirdest dude ever. Like the one day, like I mean this guy would be like I can't even think of some of the stories, but the one that always comes to mind is when I walked in and he gave me a piece of paper with a bunch of girls' names on it, and he goes, do you know what that is, Keith? And me thinking like this is probably all the girls he's had sex with or something. I was like, no, I don't know what this is. He's like, that's all the girls I've had sex with who had twins. What?
I'm so glad you brought that up. What?
Like, and just so nonchalant. And then just like, you know, just the stories that would just come out, be like, Bo, what, dude? Like, just so many good memories. I cannot stress enough how great of a first job that was for me. Like, I really think it like I really do credit that job a lot to like me being able to just chat with people and just like have a conversation because, you know, you're in these people's houses, like you're in their domain, like they have the upper hand, I guess, like without, you know, for lack of a better word. But it takes a lot to be able to just go in there, make a conversation with them, and make their day a little better.
Yeah.
And I know you understand that from being like server and
Yeah.
all that customer service.
My
stuff.
first job definitely did not mold me like yours. My first job was at Tilt Studios, which was a arcade and food shack, I guess, if you want to call it that. It was fucking terrible.
Gadzooks.
Big Gadzooks.
Man, I never thought I'd hear that name again.
Yeah, I know. I did just about everything there. I didn't manage there, but I was front desk. I worked the snack stand, and I worked the concession stand or whatever where you cashed out. I trained to serve. I didn't ever ended up serving there. And I also was a technician, which was like the stupidest title ever. I just opened the machines and sometimes reset them.
Wow. And this was the one at the Echelon Mall, no?
Yeah,
that's the only one I know of anyway.
Yeah, it was essentially, if you're unfamiliar, it is a giant arcade and pizza place. It's like a mini Chuck E. Cheese. It's got games, it's got food. It's
Dave and Buster's-esque kind of.
Yeah,
a little bit.
yeah, in that vein for sure. Yeah, it was I met a lot of people I liked, a lot of cool characters there, but ultimately I didn't learn much. The job I learned the most from was probably honestly the melting pot, just in terms of like, again, same thing you said, just dealing with and going into people's domain. I'm annoyingly, I'm gonna be at your table half your fucking meal because I'm like making your fucking food. So I essentially have to entertain you and serve you. It sucks, but a lot of people would hook you up, and like you said, like you're like that woman that would always tip you 30, whatever. It was a mother-daughter. Her name was Heidi. I can't remember her last name where I would full name drop it. It was Heidi something.
Right.
Her and her daughter would always come in. They would always sit down. They would get cheese, salad, and chocolate, and then they would leave. They would tip me $50 every single time.
Easy.
And it was just as simple as like striking up a conversation. Hey, how have you guys been? Oh, how was that art class that you guys took?
Mm-hmm.
Shit like that. Remembering the small shit.
One thing. Right. No, exactly. And I, this is going to sound kind of bad, but like I have done not like tons of research. I'm not a scientist, but like I have looked up like what makes people like feel like you're listening, I guess, or that they're like, you know, easy ways to do that is just like to remember that one little thought. You don't have to remember the entire story or the entire conversation of something, because I mean that's impossible. Like you're just not going to. But if you remember that one thing and like you see, like, you know, she said her daughter was a part of an art show, like you said, or something. Then you see the daughter's face again. You're like, oh yeah, I remember. She was part of that art show thing.
It shows that you even listen that 1%.
Exactly. And you know, even though we have a case of the Zacks with the right, you know, like that stuff, like that's like, yes, that's not the same because it's in a mocking tone, but doing things like that in a genuine way, like, right, yeah, I understand while someone talks, you know, it makes the person feel more comfortable and want to continue. And like we were saying, like, you're not going to remember everything they said, but as long as you know, listen to an extent where you understand the story, you're engaged, like, you did good.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely.
But no, and speaking of the melting pot, I have to tell you, I think I've told you this before. I was there for my first time recently. Well, not
in Florida.
Yeah, not so recently, I guess. Now it was in September, but it was in Florida, and it was me and Allie's 1-year anniversary, and we went there. I think I told you this like a while ago. Stupid story. No,
stupid story. Shouldn't have even told you. Now let me ask you: did you have a good server that night?
Yes. So that's kind of where I was going about. Like, I think
because that makes all the difference at the melting pot.
Well, I was going to say a server really does make the difference in a lot of restaurants, but especially I agree with you. I think the melting pot. He was really good. I can't remember his name or anything like that, but he was super friendly. I mean, you know, he obviously knew that was our first time, and I think we like just straight up told him. Not that that's a secret or anything, but you know, so he was like super cool. Like he just explained how everything worked, like what they had, like, you know, he was really nice. And the melting pot it's such a cool idea. I love the whole thing. It's fun, and you know, I would love to do it again. It's just I don't know if there's any around us where we are now, though. I'd have to look.
There's a few variables for me about the melting pot. Obviously, I've seen how the meat's cooked, so I know too much.
Yeah.
But
Right.
the thing about there is like once again you have to get the right server.
Hmm.
You have to be ready to have a long night. You have to be prepared to not be interrupted, but like be interrupted in a way. Like the flow of your dinner is like contingent on your server.
Yeah.
And like again, like that's what I was saying earlier, like where it really shaped the way that I work because I know distinctly and I can very much pick up when people don't want me to be around that much. And if
Right.
you just want me to get your drinks, best believe I'm just gonna get your drinks and get the fuck out of your hair. Because
Yeah.
you're going to like that more and I'm going to like that more. It's less work for
Right.
me and it's better morale for you. So like
Yep. No, exactly. I know exactly what you're saying. And wait, there's something I was gonna piggyback off. Oh yeah. So you were saying how like things about the melting pot that like maybe you'd rather not. But isn't it interesting when you work somewhere you know more about it and you can make a conscious decision if you would still eat there or go there? Would you, from working at the melting pot, would you go on a date or just go to the melting pot in general?
yes, I would, but I would also go not with trepidation, but like I don't know, like slightly like I don't know. I know I can make the cheese better, and I also I don't know, like shit like that. Like it's a small one, but like I know I make the cheese perfectly. It comes out super thick. My trick was you
Love it.
never fill up the broth all the way. Like they want you to use if a couple were to come in, you're supposed to use 4 ounces of beer and then like a certain amount of cheese or whatever, so on and so forth. If you underpoured it and then if you add more if you need it, you're fine. It's you underpour and then you can make it nice and thick. And literally, I would pick it up and it'd be like dropping down. It looked like
Yeah.
a fucking commercial.
Dude, that is one regret I have is never seeing server taper. Ugh,
Dude,
love it.
you can still see server taver,
Well, yeah, no,
right? Not at the melting pot, but
not the melting
actually,
pot.
well, even next time you come up, we stole a melting pot, so we have one. So I can make you the melting pot cheese.
Oh,
It's super simple.
can we do a whole like we sit down at the table, you come up as our server,
Yeah,
whole little play.
I'll do that for you, man.
Love it. But yeah, dude. So one thing I did want to ask, I think I already know the answer, but I would love a little recap. We haven't been able to do our morning coffee
Oh
in a
Jesus, yeah,
long time.
yeah. I meant to ask off the top, but yeah. I today I've been destroyed mine. I killed mine before we even got started. Or here, I'll be
What?
Keith. I'll be Keith. That one time we tried to record. Nice.
How obvious was it that that cup was empty?
You were like, yeah, the cup sideways. Yeah, this coffee this week. No, but I got I just
Love
went
it.
I went for the most simple. I got a regular roast and
No supercharge.
no, I didn't want to feel like I was fucking gonna die today. My heart was gonna explode. I just went for the regular sugar,
Regular.
half and half, easy.
Hey, good for you. And then what kind of bagel? I know you had a bagel today.
Just a regular plain bagel. I trusted the lady at Wawa, but a lot of trust in that lady. I bet
Yeah.
the regular cream cheese, and she spread it pretty good, I'll say. But
Now,
a lot of cream cheese in the middle, which I did not like.
now, what made you feel like you could trust this woman? Is this someone that you've seen in the past, or
No, I don't know, man. I was staring the light cream cheese down the barrel, and I was like, I don't know. I don't want her to fuck it up and put too little.
yeah, right? I know, and we've talked about this all already, but everyone's interpretation of a little versus a regular versus a lot is different for everyone, you know. Yeah,
Absolutely, and I'd rather take
great thing.
the roll of the dice with the regular and potentially have to wipe it off than a little and not have enough.
That's true. That's true. I was actually going to say I feel like it'd be better to get little so then you can add, but that's actually a better point. It would be easier to take off. I mean, because you might not even have cream cheese at home.
I do have cream cheese at home, which is a good counterpoint. But I think I made the right decision today. It was pretty good. Now,
Good.
what did you have for coffee today?
So I didn't do anything crazy, but I did do my regular coffee, French vanilla Dunkin', with the almond creamer, of course. Shout out almond creamer. Haven't mentioned it in a while. And I did a bowl of Cheerios. I had my granola bar. Um, little quick side note. This is in reference to coffee though. While we were streaming last night, Allie found this thing of a coffee subscription. I'm sure it's not new, but to me it sounds awesome. Maybe it is new. I don't know. but where you can like sign up to get what kind of grounds you want, how many times in a month you want it. Like you get to like fill out this whole form, and like just grounds of coffee just get sent to you, 2-3 times a month, or if you want it 5 times a month, like however many times. And I just think that's a brilliant idea. And it kind of goes along with what we were saying that one day about like having a coffee shop, but with that subscription type of like feel. Like
Yep.
you don't get it sent to you, but when you show up, you don't need to pay. You just like, just show your card or scan it or, whatever. And then you get coffee. I love that concept because I mean, coffee is such like a bulk item. I feel like no one's going to get a bag of coffee and have it once and not use it, most likely, unless you really don't like it or something. But it's like such a bulk item, like having such a subscription. Like, I can't believe that hasn't been made sooner. It makes so much sense.
It
I feel
does.
like
It
talking
does.
about it, And I mean, we're not the smartest marketers or people in the world. And we thought of this. Come on, put it out there,
Dude.
But
Piggybacking off what you said there, you see, what's funny? Everything you just said, you're not going to waste your coffee if you already bought it, this, that, the other. Like, okay, so let me tell you about a predicament I've been running into. And that predicament is with the New Jersey medical marijuana program.
let's hear it.
Here's my beef with the program. I'm a medical marijuana patient. I have been for over a year now. It's awesome, but the biggest drawback is that, to what you just said, if I want to go in and I want to try something and see how it reacts with and makes me feel, I'm spending minimum of $80 fucking dollars. That is so stupid and unfair on everyone. Like,
Yeah,
to not be able to, like, I don't know, have a sample or some shit to even be like,
right.
oh, I know I like this one, or like, I'm minimum spending $50 to $80,
right.
depending on how much I'm getting to try something out. It's crazy, man. And then you go out to Colorado or whatever, or places where it's been established for a couple years now, and you can literally go buy a nug, like a singular nug
Really?
for $10 or whatever, like a gram.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's so crazy that like you can try any and everything you want out there, but like here it sucks so bad, and you're fucking locked into such a hefty price and a certain amount of
That's
months.
interesting.
That. It's so interesting. It sucks, man. It sucks bad.
That's how they get you, though. I mean, that's I mean, obviously, like you're saying, how Colorado has adapted since it's been around. I really think things like that, like dispensaries and all, like they'll come around and just become like a regular type of store where you can do samples, you can get like a smaller quantity. I think it's just it's just a new kind of concept to be able to like go to the store and buy marijuana.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not as new now, but like for Jersey and other places where it's coming, it's like it's crazy. It's crazy.
My
The
biggest
world's coming around.
It is. My biggest gripe, my last thing on this I will say, is that I am very worried in New Jersey that it's only going to be big corporations selling weed and not like any mom and pop shops. It's not going to be a boutique place where like it's Keith. This is Keith's stash, and Keith grew this himself, and it's the best shit. Like, there's not going to be any places like that. It's going to be Curaleaf, who's selling thousands of pounds of weed a week for fucking a 90% profit on every single bud. It's insane, man. It kills me.
Well, and to your point about the mom and pop thing, like what a missed opportunity we had, like back in the 80s, 90s, even early 2000s, when mom and pop stores were more popular, I guess. Like, how cool would it have been to just have mom and pop weed shops, like what you're saying, like best weed in town. Like, I can already see all the signs like on the windows, like a JFM, but that sells weed too. Like that would have been so cool, like back in the day. And it sucks that it obviously wasn't legal and all, but that would have been so cool. That would have been interesting.
I think there are places that are like that in Colorado, though. Like boutique places in Colorado can happen because they've distributed their license correctly. In Jersey, they're only going to have a certain amount of licenses for distributors to be able to grow and sell, and they're not going to give it to a little guy.
No, right. Dude, speaking of Colorado, I've always wanted to go, and you and me and Alpha and whoever else, we should plan a trip sometime.
I don't know
if you'd be interested. Oh,
absolutely. We could see the Rocky Mountains and shit, man.
Exactly.
Now,
it just seems beautiful.
dude, absolutely. Fuck, there was one last thing you said that I wanted to comment on. I can't quite
Mom
remember.
and pop like JFM, anything
Oh
like that.
man, it's right around that conversation, but I
It's
don't want to
right
drag
there.
I don't want to drag the pod up.
That's okay. That's okay. Hey, but no, I would love to go to Colorado. It just seems beautiful. He's got it.
I got it. And it was actually a slight shift of gears, but it was having to do with the topic of like mom and pop and whatnot. Is that I think I might have said it when I was talking about Wyoming last episode, but one of the coolest things about Wyoming is that there, at least where we were staying, it's not like there's a Walmart to pop over to or a Target. It's like
Yeah.
there's a few grocery stores that are bigger, but like there's still a fucking Radio Shack.
What?
Yeah,
That's
there's
open.
a Radio Shack in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, that is open and functional.
Dude,
Dude,
I
it's
thought there was
insane.
none of them. There's no more
I know.
Radio Shacks.
I'm jealous because, like, I don't know. You think about when we were younger and fucking, you could go to Radio Shack or go to GameStop and get all the little shit that you needed. But like
Yeah.
now, you go to Walmart and they just might not have what you need.
And if not, it's too bad.
You got to order it.
Yeah, you got to order
Sucks,
off
man.
Amazon or something. Does suck. It's a different time. I will say there's a lot of GameStops around me. I was telling Allie, I feel like I've noticed. Like not like a ton, but like I've seen more GameStops around here than I've expected to see in my lifetime. It's crazy.
Are you happy or annoyed about that? You're annoyed.
I'm indifferent. Even though I am old school in the way where I used to love like getting the game, like actually purchasing a video game like in a box with like the booklet and stuff, like PS2 obviously comes to mind. Like, dude, like I would be that guy that would like look through the booklet, look at the different characters, like, you know everything about the game before I even played it. And I don't know, it does suck that like that part is leaving. I mean, I know it's not like a make or break for me. Obviously I still love video games, but it's just one of those things like that was cool while it lasted. You know, it was like,
I completely agree. I remember when I was a kid looking at the Crash Bandicoot
yeah,
manual, and they had a code that you could play Spyro through Crash Bandicoot.
what? That's
Mhm.
awesome. I didn't even know.
Yeah, it was like the Tecmo code or whatever. Like you
Yeah.
you do a certain combination of shit on the main
Mhm.
menu, and then you would play a demo essentially of Spyro. It was fucking awesome, man.
I used to love Spyro. Spyro used to be my favorite. I like Spyro and Crash, but Spyro I was more into than Crash a little bit.
Speaking of PS, like early PS games, I remember you telling me a bit ago, but talk a little bit about that Spider-Man game you like. You gotta stream that soon, man.
Dude, it's actually crazy. I was threatening Allie on Sunday that I was going to play it. That I was just going to play it and beat it. And I never did. And then today I was saying like maybe I'll do it today. But then obviously we're doing this and streaming, and I don't know what I mean, I still might play it today. Who knows? But dude, just a great fun game. It was the Spider-Man on the PS1. It's not like the very first Spider-Man ever. I think it might be the first one in 3D though. I'm not 100% sure.
Probably is.
Not. Maybe is. And
unless there was one on the N64.
Which I don't think there was, but I don't know. Anyway, this game I've beaten 100 times. It has Venom in it, who's my favorite character, who actually ends up helping you at the end, which I love. Like you fight him, you beat him, and then he actually comes on your side. You fight Rey Mysterio, you fight Rhino, you fight
Rey
Scorpion.
Mysterio?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
He's in there. The lizard guy, I can't think of his name. There's like a lizard guy in there. Carnage, Dr. Octopus. Like, dude, everyone is in this game. And it's a good story. Like, it's cool. It's like, you know, like there's a whole level where the cops are chasing you and you're Spider-Man and you're like getting shot and you have to like dodge like the spotlight like on the wall. Dude, I need, you know what? Me talking about it, I might need to get the cord so I can stream it, because I was thinking like, maybe I won't stream it, but it's really cool, dude. I've beaten it 1,000 times and I'd beat it 1,000 more. It's so good.
And I think it's awesome seeing someone play a game they truly do love. Like, not saying you
Yeah.
don't love any of the games that you play now, but like
No,
a game that is critical to your childhood to watch you
Mhm.
play would be awesome.
right. Like me, liking, you know, like a battle royale game such as Fortnite or Apex or anything like that. That love of a game, I feel like, is different than the love of a game like a single player campaign game that you played back in the day that like you love. You know what
There's
I mean?
that level of nostalgia is unmatched. It will always trump any level of excitement that you have for a game these days.
No,
No
exactly.
question about it.
No, and I love games. I mean, even playing Bully, like I want to play that more too. Like that was a game back in my childhood I loved. Such a good game. There's hundreds of others, dude. Like at my house, I mean, you probably remember I had hundreds of PS2 games and PS1 games for that matter, and they're just so good, man. But like Allie, so like for example, Allie's escape out of reality is books. She loves reading, and like when she reads, she like feels like she's there. I feel like my thing is video games. I feel like I'm a more visual guy. Like I will read. Well, not really. I probably not really, but I'm more of a visual guy. Like I like to see things in front of me, and I don't know. And when I do, I just feel like I'm just selling my hay.
I'm right there with you. I'm definitely a an audio and visual person,
Yeah.
for sure. Like even take the suggestion or don't, it's fine. But you should if you're ever interested, listen to audiobooks. Audiobooks is a great way to consume books and get knowledge, but you're listening.
Yeah.
It's like listening to a podcast.
I got to tell you, I have listened to one audiobook in my lifetime, and it was a recommendation from Tabor.
Oh, yes. And how worth it was it?
So good.
And
It
I know
was
exactly The Disaster Artist
The
by
Disaster Artist.
Greg Sestero.
So good, man. Well, it was great because I started it when I took my trip to Virginia by myself. And I listened to it all the way there and all the way back. And so just entertaining. Like the ride. So from Jersey to where I was going in Virginia is like 7 hours, like with traffic and all. And the ride just flew by. I was just so enthralled by, if you don't know what The Disaster Artist is, it's this movie, The Room, and it's like the worst movie ever freaking made. And the director, Tommy Wiseau, or I forget, is that his name? Wiseau. Such a weird
Wiseau,
cat.
whatever you want to say.
Such a weird guy. And then there's that movie with James Franco and
Oh, who else was in that? Why am I blanking too? Seth Rogen's in it.
Seth Rogen. Wait, but wasn't it the other Franco? I just can't
both
remember his
Francos
name.
are in it.
James
Frank,
and
Jimmy.
Well, Jimmy, James and Jimmy. But anyway, the Franco brothers are in there, and it was a good movie. It was
Dave.
It was crazy.
Dave.
There we go. And yeah, it was a good movie. And then The Room itself is a horrible movie, but it's one of those movies that's so bad it actually has a cult following now. And I I don't know if I'm in the cult, but I do respect the movie now, knowing the background, watching the adaptation, and watching the actual movie.
Now, did you end up watching The Room too?
Yeah,
Nice.
You know who I watched The Room with?
Oh,
Zach Schubert.
yes.
But here's the thing: he didn't finish it with me because he said it was so bad. He didn't want to finish it with me. I think
You have to finish it.
no, I finished it.
I know. I'm
finished
just
the
saying
movie,
in general,
but
you have to.
yeah. I can't remember like if he left, or I think maybe we did finish it. I can't remember, but I feel like we didn't, because then I had to go back and finish it up the next day or something. But dude, just an awful movie. I mean, like just terrible. But I mean, just the point, just knowing the background of how it was made, all the weird stuff, like just I mean, if I definitely recommend that audiobook, The Disaster Artist. Just like you don't even need to watch the movie. You really don't if you don't want to. Like it will still make sense, because I did it in the exact order you said. I listened to the audiobook first. Then I think I watched the
Disaster
Room
Artist
next, or I forget what the order was, but whatever order
I
you told
think
me
I
to do, I did
probably told you audiobook The Room, then Disaster Artist.
Okay, that's probably how I did it then. For some reason, I really don't remember the Disaster Artist movie that much, though.
It was
I know
just
I watched
okay.
it.
It wasn't anything great. And honestly, my biggest issue with the movie is that I feel like they made the relationship between Tommy and Greg in the movie completely different to what it was in the audiobook. Like in the audiobook, Greg is basically talking about how stupid Tommy is the whole time. In the movie, they make it seem like Greg is like kissing Tommy's ass the entire time. Like it's crazy. Like he kind of like looks up to him a little in the beginning and is like impressed with his money and stuff, but like
Yeah.
ultimately he sees through Tommy and sees how vain he is and like and how
Right.
stupid and poor he treats people.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
crazy.
No, exactly. But anyway, highly recommend that audiobook. Very, very good. I cannot believe we're talking about The Room.
I'm very glad we got into that conversation. I forgot I
I am
even
too.
suggested it to you. I'm glad you listened to it.
No, exactly. No, it was really good. I highly recommend the audiobook for sure, and then the movie The Room. If you want to put yourself through it, do it. I mean, I personally felt like I just needed to after watching the audiobook. It's like you got to see what came out of this, like production.
And again, the thing that's really admirable about it is like Tommy did what he wanted to do. He became famous. He did.
Yeah.
Whether any way you want to spin it or say it, he became famous.
He
His
did what
movie
his
is one of the most legendary movies to ever be recorded on film.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's one that you won't. It's one that you'll forget, but always remember that you watched it. If that makes sense, you know,
It
it's
makes
like
perfect sense.
perfect. Quick segue into one of the stories I just wanted to say before I forget it.
Yeah. After you spill these stories, I'll throw my.
Wait. Yeah, I'll go through them quick. It was
No, rush. No, don't rush.
What was that?
I don't even know.
So I was talking to the legendary Zach Schubert last night, as Tabor already knows. And Zach Schubert was just recently down Long Beach Island with his girlfriend and his girlfriend's family. Anyway, this was Monday night, I believe. I don't think it was, or was it the 4th? It could have been the 4th of July. It was the 4th of July. It was the night of the 4th of July. And him and her family and his girlfriend all walk out of the house to go down to the beach and light off a couple fireworks. And as they get outside, they see there's a fire on the beach, and like a decent sized fire. So they get a little closer to the beach and they see it's 2 trash cans, like how Zach described it, was like a regular trash can and a recycling bin on fire. He said the flames were like 12 feet high in the air. He was like, it was like it was a decent sized fire. And apparently his girlfriend's dad got right on the phone to the police and called them and said, there's a fire on the beach, you know, blah, 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 blah. Let's have people out there. So Zach and they were all like, oh my God, I can't believe what happened. And her dad just kept saying, you know, I'm sure it's just a bunch of kids. They were being stupid, lit something on fire, it got out of control. And here we are. Zach sees it a whole different way. So now if you know Zach Schubert, I trust he would never lie. He's not someone to ever lie.
There are just certain people who just don't like, they wouldn't lie. Like they have no reason to lie.
He wouldn't lie, but I do think he has interesting perceptions on some things because he's Zach Schubert. But again, I do believe him on this. I really do. So apparently her dad's on the phone with the cops, like they're asking him 100 questions and he's like walking in circles, and him and her girlfriend's mom is just watching this fire, and they're both saying like how they thought it was probably just a bunch of teenagers, and like, you know, like if you were a teenager and you set something on fire, like you'd probably just run. You'd be like, oh, like, man, I messed up. I can't believe I did that. Get out there. Zach says he saw a kid, like teenager-ish, walk through the fire, like not like through the fire, but like around the fire, just slowly walk out, turn around, look at the fire for a while, and then just slowly walk away. And Zach said it was the way the kid was acting was like sadistic almost. Like this kid intended to make this fire. He watched it and then just like left slowly. Like it wasn't like he like ran, like he didn't want to get caught. Like this kid just slowly walked away. And apparently him and Emily, his girlfriend's mom, saw it, and they were like, did you guys not see that? And Emily and her dad's like, you guys are just making shit up. And Zach's like, dude, I know exactly what I saw.
Wow. He wasn't rolling, was he?
I don't know. I'm sure he had some pocket files, but the reason why I really do believe him was because he did say the mom agreed with him. Like there was another witness there. And And it just the way he was telling me the story, I was
Let's
like,
get
dude,
let's
that
get
sounds
let's get
spooky.
her on the podcast. Let's see her opinion.
Yeah. But dude, like I told him, I was like, how spooky. Like that's creepy. Like seeing it. And he said like they were far and he said there's just smoke everywhere. It was like a decent sized fire, apparently. And he was just like, dude, the guy who walked out was just so creepy. Just his like
His
but
aura.
like he could feel the aura even that far. Like he said shivers got sent down his spine when he saw it.
Wow.
Thought that was
He
cool.
must have been rolling.
Yeah. Who knows? But honestly, the only other thing is that I wanted to talk about, we don't have to go into a long discussion about it. I've been obsessed with people who have that nickname. For example, people that I think of who have a nickname like, when we first moved into our apartment, this guy came and like sprayed, like he came once every other week to spray our apartment for bugs to make sure there's no bugs. And we referred to him as the bug guy. And then down the street from when I lived in Jersey, there was a guy at the end of my street and we called him the guy who plugs in his lawnmower because he always mowed his lawn with an electric lawnmower.
Which way?
On my side of the street, last
Towards
house on the
Liam?
corner. Yes. Like right across the street from the park.
Okay,
like that corner house.
Yeah.
My question is, and if you're not about this theory, please, it's totally okay. Some people on this world, are they just like, is it a simulation? Is kind of where I'm going out with this. Like, are these people on this world to just do that one thing? But then like they go inside their house or whatever and they just like charge down and they just wait to mow their lawn again like every 2 weeks. Like and the only other thing I want to say is, do you think you and me have a name to other people? Like there's the the tall guy or the like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like do we have a nickname like that for someone else? Have you ever thought of something like that?
I haven't. You've been bringing up good questions, though. You've been bringing up some good questions here. Well, first and foremost, you really brought something up that I ultimately wanted to talk about, which is great. Because I didn't know exactly how to bring it up, but there's this guy down my street who literally that is exactly what he does. Every like week or two, usually like a week, it's like amazing to me. He goes outside and he mows his lawn, and now that's not anything to brag about, but he mows his lawn with that old 1940s style. It's that circle, that cylinder on the bottom that has razors on it.
Yep.
Cuts the lawn like it's cutting your facial hair. Like, it's literally a razor that cuts the ground. This man, there's no way he does anything else with his life. There's no way. The only thing he does is mow his lawn every week. Other than that, he shuts down in his basement. He goes into a cocoon or something. I don't know what he does.
No, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like the guy down the street who plugs his lawnmower in, you've never seen any cars. You've never seen anyone else in the house. You've never seen him leave. Nothing. So same guy with the bug guy.
Never seen him take out the groceries. Like
nothing.
When does he take out the groceries?
Same thing with the bug guy. Never, like, I think he lives on here and on the complex. Never have seen him. Like he just showed up and now he's gone. And like that was like the first month we lived here, and now we haven't seen him at all. Like. But like these people with these names, like that guy or that guy, are they just simulations just added just to make it think that we're all alive? That's my Thursday morning rant.
That's the underlying sense. You hit the nail on the head. I don't have anything further to comment.
Oh my gosh, it really bothers me sometimes, and I want to know: are we considered guys to anyone?
Oh yeah, you asked that. I feel like for sure, like in going out, like you never want to think that you're the person someone's making fun of, but eventually at some point you gotta be the person that someone's making fun of. Like I mean, it's gonna happen. It has to. Like, oh, look at that fucking idiot over there. Like I don't know. Like
you're owing your hay. Yeah,
exactly. Like, and you're never conscious of it, so who cares? Like they're having their fun. It's not hurting you. Like
right, and neither are the people that we call blank guy or whatever.
Exactly.
Like they don't know that we're saying it about them.
No.
But it's just crazy to think. It's crazy concepts to think on a Thursday morning.
Bringing up some good questions these last couple of pods, man. Really making me think.
Dude, that's what I'm here for. But I am very excited to hear What did you say?
What did you want? You wanna? All right.
Huh. That's interesting. You like
Is
those?
that the official new name of it?
Yeah. No.
Uh,
We're sort
so-
of.
What, dude?
Wait.
This isn't really a fact or anything per se. I guess I wanted to take this time to talk about something a piece of art that I thoroughly do enjoy.
Okay.
So as you know, I'm sure I'm a big MF Doom fan. MF Doom is a rapper from if he's originally from England, but he's from Long Island, underground hip hop guy. But he made some really cool albums. He's done a lot of work in his day. He's done a bunch of different collabs with different people, and one of the most interesting and probably one of my favorite albums of all time. I say that a lot, but this is really an interesting one. A lot of people make concept albums, you know that, like, yeah. So it's obviously a theme or congruent topic throughout the whole thing. MF Doom in 2005 released maybe one of the coolest concept albums and collaboration albums of all time, it's called The Mouse and the Mask. And it is an album that is composed and essentially revolves around the idea of like Adult Swim's programming. So it's a lot of Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
Whoa.
There's a Space Ghost, Coast to Coast. Who else is in it? I'm trying to think. Oh man, I can't think of the other.
No.
Yeah, it's exquisite. They take little samples and fucking and
like Adult Swim shows.
Yeah, Adult Swim shows, and then they'll grab he also got like Master Shake has little lines throughout the entire thing. It's essentially like Doom is making an album and Master Shake wants to be on the album, and he keeps calling Doom asking when he's going to be on the album.
Right.
Dude, it's so good.
It sucks that like Rick and Morty and stuff wasn't around.
Right, because it would have fit right in there. Yeah. It's really a awesome thing. If you can sit down for an hour and put on some headphones and listen to that shit, I cannot recommend it enough. It's so much fun. It is one of the most fun listens you can ever have on an album, honestly.
I do have to tell you, Tabor, you'd be happy to hear we did listen to some MF Doom on 4th of July.
Yes. What would you listen to? Do you remember?
Fish, I don't. Fish was actually the one who put it on. He said, dude, I've been really into MF Doom. I was like, dude, as soon as Tabor told me to listen to him, unfortunately, he passed away. Which, I mean, of course, you know, his music lives on forever, and I still do check him out. But it was just crazy. Like, just as soon as like I start like checking him out and like really liking his stuff, you know, it's gone. All right.
It was very coincidental timing because I really started getting into him like literally 2 months or so before he passed, and it was announced. It was crazy though. Like I can't say it enough, but it's genuinely like listening to a book. Like the amount of density and wordplay and literate wordplay is in there. It is fucking insane. He has an entire rap in which he drops the fourth bar or the last rhyme on the fourth bar off of every single thing. So you have to fill in with your mind what he's going to say.
Wow.
It's amazing.
It's like his a book, like you said. Yeah.
Exactly. It's like you're literally doing a Mad Lib. It's fucking crazy.
Dude, that's the music recommendation for the pod.
It is. If anyone wants to do their homework, again, it's called The Mouse and the Mask. It's an awesome album. It's once again, I love that. Really give it some pay attention to it if you can, if you have an hour or whatever, and you can sit around and listen to it. Fucking awesome. The one song he takes over Space Ghost's TV show, his talk show, and Doom gets his own talk show.
Wow.
Fucking, like shit like that. Like it's just fucking stupid, awesome.
Like
man.
fun. Yeah.
Dude,
love that.
Do you have anything else, man? If we're making noises like that, you know it's over.
No, dude, I was just gonna say I think that's a great way to end it, and looking forward to this little morning stream.
Yeah, I had a great time, man. I'm glad we boosted this one up a little longer. I think 45 to an hour is like a perfect time for us.
I agree, and I was actually telling Tabor I cannot believe episode 13 was only 30 minutes. I thought it was at least 45.
Yeah,
and
it felt like it.
When I saw you post it it was like 32, I was like, whoa.
It is coincidental though, because in this episode, like I was like I felt like we were like close to 40 minutes or so. I was like, let me get my what dude ready, and I looked and we were only 30 minutes in. I was like, holy fuck.
Wow. Yeah, no, we've gone for a lot longer, and it felt good. I felt like we had a lot to talk about. Feels good getting back on track with the mornings, and looking forward to next week.
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's it. That's all you got.
That's all I got.
Again, I will say it again. Thank you for listening, guys. Thanks for being patient with our schedule here. We're really getting back into the flow, though. Shouldn't have too many more missed episodes here. Fa and I rededicated. Not that we ever weren't dedicated, but we had shit going on. Life gets in the way. It happens.
You got to go out and take in so you can spill more out. Where's the Tabor?
Yes, absolutely. You really do. I can't just keep giving things without doing anything.
Yeah. It's a great point. I never thought about it until you said it, but it's something to think about for sure.
For sure, man. All right, and that's gonna wrap up episode 14. I still don't know what this is called. That's always a fun part of it. So, episode 14, net to be named. I wish that could be the name.
It could be called Back in. Oh.
I'm sure everyone who's so enjoying us hearing us say "oh" and Zach Schubert 50 times an episode would love that.
Love it.
All right,
Tommy Lums.
All right, it's been real. Again, 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. If you guys are enjoying, make sure to follow us on Instagram at Jah and Fah Pod. I think that might be it.
Follow our playlist too.
Yeah, follow our playlist on Instagram. If you just search Jah and Fah playlist, search out the whole name. Should pop up for you. Yeah, make sure to follow that. If you have any suggestions for music you want us to listen to, please let us know. We'd love to get some music suggestions going. Yeah,
for sure. All right,
man.
Until next week.
I'll see you.